What's up?
Let's just record a podcast of silence.
Okay. Anyway, welcome to this episode of Jess and Hits Make a Podcast. This is episode 20-something.
29,
My calendar's off because up there it says we're releasing episode 30 on the 12th, but that's wrong.
That's wrong.
I think I must have written that down a long time ago before we did that bonus War Members episode.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't count that as an episode. So in spite of what my calendar says on the wall that listeners will never see, it is actually episode 29.
Da, 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 da.
Yay! How's life?
Good. I mean, it's exhausting, but...
Yeah. We are currently dog sitting, which we love doing, but they live like 20 minutes away. And they also, like, their dogs are on a feeding schedule.
A very precise feeding schedule.
And it happens to be the same time I feed Cake. And, like, Cake, I'm cool with feeding her early than usual. She's cool with it, too. She's like, yeah,
she's like, more food.
But we're having to juggle going out there. And also, they want one of us to sleep out there every night. So we're having to coordinate, like, who's going to go out there. And, yeah, the last couple nights, both of us have just gone out there.
And I spent most of yesterday out there. All of yesterday.
And I came here and hung out with our animals. So they got some love, too.
Yeah. So it's
but
fine.
Yeah, it's just like an added...
Two little sweet old dogs, and they're just chill. But they're just more comfortable at home, so their owner likes it that we go out and have this really chill week while they're on vacation or traveling or whatever. So.
Yeah.
And then we feel like so much love from our pets when we come home. They're like, we missed you.
We missed you so much.
So
and then
makes
Cake
us feel good.
Clingy. And,
yeah.
I say as she walks out of the room.
I know. Wow. She's like, I'm over you guys.
She's been clingy all day. I finally got her to lay down. And now she's like, oh, okay, I guess I can leave now.
I'm going to go. I'll just go.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
I got to grab some chapstick.
Okay. Oh, she's coming back. What else is new? What's been going on? We had a fun little craft night over the week. And if you ever want to join us on craft nights, Thursdays seem to be a good day to have them. I think we're going to schedule this week's for Thursday as well. So if you're listening to this the morning it comes out, just know that later tonight there will be a craft night where we just get on Zoom and probably not really say much.
Yeah.
But we're all just hanging out and working on our own stuff. And yeah.
And craft is all encompassing. I know we've had...
you don't have to have an actual crafty craft.
We've had some people who have been working on their writing. We've had some people who are working on building D&D characters or working on whatever aspect. I've worked on some bracelets. I've worked on crochet. I've worked on nothing. So
yeah, I think
it's kind of a hangout session.
The last couple of craft nights that I did.
You didn't do
I didn't do anything. I meant to have a project that I would focus on, but then the focus didn't happen. So I just ended up flipping through tabs and doing a little bit here, a little bit there. I don't know. It just mostly just hangout sessions. Yeah, we call them craft nights. Maybe we should call them hangout.
I've been doing like craft night / hang sesh.
Yeah.
So it's however you want to, whatever you want to do. So you just have to follow our Patreon or be in our Facebook group or on our Discord server.
Yep. That's where we post the link.
And I think you can find all links to all those places on our website, jessandhids.com.
You know what? I don't know. You could definitely find our Facebook group on the website. I have not put Discord on there yet.
Okay. We'll do that too.
Okay. That's just adding that to my to-do list. Thank you for adding to my to-do list.
Sorry.
Cool. I don't know if anybody ever goes to our website. So
I don't know.
It's fine. It's a good thing to have.
I'll learn the website one day. I don't even have to log in. That's your little domain.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't mind doing it. I just need to stay up on it,
Mm-hmm.
But again, I see the analytics and I'm like, no one has been here, so I don't really have to do anything.
Yeah. Well, it'll get there.
Yeah.
We post everywhere else, and I think we have outreach everywhere.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Anyway, that's a fun thing we're doing. Hang out.
Yeah.
Sessions, little crafting. If you need a little body doubling or accountability to finish your project.
Yeah.
Come hang out with us.
It's fun.
Yep. We like it. We do it on Zoom. And I know, like, if you don't want to have your camera on or whatever, or even if you don't want to talk, you can just like join and go off camera and mute yourself and just hang out.
Yeah, it still counts as being social.
Yep.
So,
Yep. So yeah, that's a fun thing. Another fun thing is a podcast that we're going to record.
Oh yeah, this fun thing. I'm excited about my topic.
I am too. It's one that I just learned about recently, and then like now it's everywhere. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to talk about this now.
All right.
So I put it on the list a couple weeks ago and pulled it right up. I was like, was not expecting to pull that soon, but okay.
I'm resisting the urge to go over to the spreadsheet with the list on it. Okay.
Don't look at it. It's fine. You'll know in just a few minutes,
or
maybe an hour. Depends on who rolls first.
Yeah. Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Should we roll? Oh man, we're getting too much dice in.
I know. The dice tray is.
Well, 16. I got a 16. Okay. I have a prediction.
I got a 14.
All right.
Well, we're back to normal.
It wasn't that far off.
We're back to normal. We're good.
After 2 whole episodes of you going first, we are now, everything is as it should be, and I am going first.
Yeah.
My little tablet that has my notes on it is at 12% battery.
Oh, cool.
So it's fine. It should be
also
okay.
Have the charger, so
I do, but my computer is also low, so I don't want to unplug that.
We planned this really well, didn't we? Okay, there we go.
So, no.
Tell me what you're talking about.
Do you remember in last week's episode? September. Shoot. No, cooperate. Sorry, I'm trying to do my little kickstand on the tablet and it's not working. Okay, last episode. When we drew cards for this week.
Yes. I do recall drawing cards.
And I told you to use your newfound powers of ESP to try to guess what I had on the card.
Oh.
Do you remember what you said?
No. That's a lot of asking me to remember stuff.
You said the Cryptid card.
Did you get the Cryptid card?
I did.
Dude, you guys, I might have ESP.
I know.
Because we did yesterday.
Okay, we got Zener cards. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Yesterday, we got Zener cards.
In the mail.
And Jess was home. I was over at the dog sitting house. We were on a Zoom together we were on our tea time, during our tea time. Mm-hmm. And we had a couple other people in the chat with us. And we did the Zener cards. And I got 3 out of 5 again. Right? Yeah, 3 out of 5. They got the first 2 and the last one.
I thought, okay, yeah, that's right. And then we had other people that were on the tea time guests too.
They got a couple right too.
I actually don't remember if they did or not.
I think Will got 1, and I think Steph got 1 or 2. I can't remember.
I don't know.
I think they each at least got 1, but I got 3 out of 5. Oh, sorry, little baby.
That was fun.
Okay, cool. What cryptid are you going to tell me about? I love cryptid.
Okay. The cryptid. Okay.
You haven't done a cryptid yet.
I have not. I know. And so like I wanted it to be a good one. And so I went with a local cryptid.
A local
cryptid. So did you know, asking the listeners, because I know you know, Arizona has our own Bigfoot. Yeah. So this guy is known as the Mogollon Monster. And that is how you pronounce it, by the way. Mogollon.
It's not Mogollon.
It's not Mogollon. It's not Mogollon, which is how another podcaster pronounced it. And it's not
Mogollon.
or yeah, it's Mogollon. Okay, so the Mogollon Monster is named after the region in Arizona that it is found. The majority of sightings are said to occur in the ponderosa pine forest of the Mogollon Rim. But the creature appears to travel and has been sighted around Prescott, Williams, Alpine, and even as far south as Clifton, which is closer to where I grew up in the desert.
Wow, I didn't realize he was so far south.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, Clifton is like north of where I was. But yeah, it didn't quite reach down to where I grew up in Patrick.
know there's mountains. Are they wooded? I don't remember.
Mount Graham has,
okay.
There are wooded mountains there, but
we should go hike down there again.
We really should. It's very pretty.
Like I say again,
it's my mountain.
We drove down there. I haven't hiked there at all.
Yeah.
So we should go there again and hike.
We should. But anyway, the Mogollon Rim is a geological feature that rises about 2,000 feet from the ground and spans 200 miles across Arizona and New Mexico. I didn't realize it was that big.
I didn't either.
It defines much of the eastern part of Arizona and separates the highlands from the lowlands. The rim, it changes ecosystems along the way from high Sonoran Desert to the largest contiguous?
I've heard both ways.
Yeah. Anyway, it's the largest ponderosa pine forest in the world.
I love driving through there.
So fun fact about Arizona, because I also listened to another podcast that was talking about this monster. Like, from this podcaster's own notes, they read heavily forested area. And then they went on to talk about this desert Bigfoot. And, maybe he's able to be so quiet because he's walking through sand. And I would hate camping in the desert because scorpions. And I'm like, well, yes.
My gosh.
Yeah. And like, listen to your own notes. You said heavily forested. And now you're talking about cactuses and desert and sand and flat area. Like, did you
pay attention? Yeah. And I know like everybody.
It's cats fighting.
Okay. I was like, I know a lot of people when I moved here, they were like, why do you want to live in the desert? And I'm like, it's high desert.
Yeah.
Like there's a extreme difference between high desert and desert.
Yeah.
Like, and I love it.
Yeah. And like a big part of Arizona is desert.
Mm-hmm. But desert is just a low water area. It can be any different kind of biome. It's not just flat rolling sand.
Yeah.
It's very different. And I love the high desert here. It's such a rugged, beautiful place.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a lot of trees as well. I mean, we're like in juniper forest here, and then on the rim is all the ponderosa, which is just beautiful.
Yeah.
I love driving through there.
Yeah. Ponderosa pines are really pretty. All right, so back to the monster. He is most commonly described as a large bipedal creature over 7 feet tall with large red eyes. Its body is said to be covered with long black or reddish-brown hair, with the exclusion of the chest, face, hands, and feet. So those are just the general, most common descriptions. But one account says he had hair growing on the sides of his face, like mutton chops.
Aw, cute.
Yeah. Another account said the hair was gray and nearly covered his whole body with patches showing dirty skin. So just like a really hairy guy. And that he had a long white hair and beard that reached his knees. So, which again just seems like a really hairy old guy. There's one report that gives a more troll-like description that says no hair but covered in bumps. And I do mention that one in sightings that we're going to talk about later.
Interesting. I have not heard that version.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the head is reported to be almost square-like, and the eyes are set deep in the skull under a large brow, very ape-like. Mm-hmm. The upper arms of the creature are said to be very large, appearing to be 6 feet in diameter. 6 feet? Sorry, 6 inches. The upper arms are 6 inches in diameter, so big biceps.
6? That's not big.
Diameter. You're thinking circumference.
Oh, okay.
6 inches.
Diameter, yeah.
A 6-inch diameter would be a foot long.
Okay.
foot long bicep.
Okay. I struggle with circumference, diameter, and radius. You'd think I would. I mean, radius I get because we play D&D. I understand that. Explain to me diameters. That's from the center to the side?
Diameter is center to the side.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Which is actually what we use in D&D.
Yeah, but okay, I'm sorry. Carry on. I was just thinking a 6-inch, like I got a 6-inch bicep, but
no, I got bigger than that. It's all fat though.
Oh, mine
Flabby
used to
skin.
have some. Okay, anyway, carry on.
Man.
Gotta go work out. Sorry, BRB.
Anyway, he's jacked, and the arms are said to hang down to the knees, also very ape-like. He walks with wide, inhuman strides, leaving behind footprints that measure around 22 inches long.
Dang,
that's almost 2 feet.
Isn't that like
long?
Like Shaq's a 22-inch or something, right?
Man, I don't know. I can't pull that out of thin air. Look it up. Oh, buddy.
Oh, baby.
White cat just hopped up onto the table, looking to cause some mischief.
Oh, my gosh. No.
Nope. I need you to get down. You got to get down. Hey, he's about to knock over the dice.
Oh, okay.
I need you to control your son.
Oh, he's mine now. Okay. All right. Okay. So, no. The number, Shaquille O'Neal wears a size 22, which is 16 inches in length.
Okay, so
this is another half foot.
The Mogollon Monster.
I mean, Shaq is huge.
Yeah.
So this guy's bigger. That's okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay.
All right. So reports claim that the Mogollon Monster has a strong and pungent odor described as that of dead fish, a skunk with bad body odor, which is like not even just a skunk. It's a skunk with bad body odor.
With bad, they had to put bad in there.
Yeah,
poor skunky.
Wow, I know. He also smells like decaying peat moss and the musk of a snapping turtle, which is very specific. And I've never smelled that before.
It's really bad. I have smelled that. It is not. So like it's pond water, but worse. Like
poop in pond water.
And musky. Like, I don't know. It's not a pleasant smell. It's not at all.
All right.
Like swampy, musky, poopy pond water.
All right. Adding that to the description. Swampy, musky, poopy pond water. This poor guy.
Yeah, he's not. I think like, I don't know a lot about him, so I'm interested in, but one of the descriptions that I had heard in the past is he is one of the less pleasant Bigfoot Sasquatch variations.
That brings me, remember when I was talking to you earlier about like there's something that I wanted to find in a source that I can talk about that you had told me about. I can't find it anywhere.
Okay.
You told me once that you heard a description of this guy. The reason he smells so bad is because he hangs like strips of skin from his fur. I couldn't find that anywhere.
I can't remember where I read it or heard it either. I just remember like he's a vicious kind of like he
is more vicious than other like actual Sasquatch Bigfoot creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get into that. But I couldn't find anything about the strips of skin. And I don't know.
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
Nothing.
It was forever ago that I
listened to
these cats, man.
Cryptid Campfire.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to Box of Oddities. And none of the other
love both of those, by the way.
Yeah, and like that's where you would have heard it. None of the other sort of cryptid related podcasts we listened to had an episode on the Mogollon Monster. So I don't know. I don't know where you got that info.
I don't know either. I wish I did.
But yeah. I couldn't find it anywhere. It wasn't in any of the sources that I found or the other podcasts that I listened to. So, yeah.
Maybe I like...
It was another version of... There are a lot of Sasquatch varieties out there.
Yeah. I don't know. That's weird.
So,
I just remember like he's vicious and he shreds he viciously attacks his victims
yeah.
and then like Maybe it's like, maybe I extrapolated it, like from he attacks it and then he doesn't take baths, so it's like
gross.
Yeah. He doesn't wipe his mouth after he's done eating, so he just kind of adds to his own little stink.
Yeah.
Stray.
Leave the pizza alone, love.
She's like, but I want it.
I thought I closed that box pretty securely.
I did too, but apparently. Yeah. Anyway, okay,
right.
back to.
So, the behavior. The Mogollon Monster is allegedly nocturnal, omnivorous, territorial, and sometimes violent. He can mimic birds, coyotes, and other wildlife, emit unusual whistle sounds. In numerous reports, the monster has been said to emit a blood-curdling scream, described as sounding like a woman in great distress.
Or a mountain lion.
Or a mountain lion, because that's also
that would be
what mountain lions sound like.
If I heard that scream, I'd be like, oh, a mountain lion.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Yep, that's totally a mountain lion.
Totally a mountain lion.
It's not a woman getting murdered.
So I heard that out at my property.
It is crazy.
It's terrifying. I have heard it on like recordings and stuff, but to hear it in actual real life at like 3 a.m., not a good feeling to have.
So the monster likes to explore campsites after dark. He builds nests out of pine needles, twigs, and leaves, which is interesting because no other Sasquatch sort of legend has them building nests that I know of. I know that's ape behavior.
Nests. Okay. So I have heard that they have found like bedding where like they've taken like branches and leaves and stuff and made like a bed in like a cave or under like broken trees and stuff, like a windfall.
Yeah.
Where they've done that. Okay. But he does more like nesting, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I want more of a description of these nests.
I want photos.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a cell phone now. Let's make it happen.
So are we talking about full-on bird nests with like the built-up walls?
Yeah. And like, are these tucked into caves?
Yeah.
Or are they just like you're strolling around and this is where he camped for the night? So he's like got this pile of brush kind of piled up to curl up in.
Yeah. Come on, cryptozoologist, get on it.
Get on it. Yep. Make it happen.
Yep.
Let's go do it. Let's go camping. Every time we drive down the rim to the valley, I want to go. There's that 264 trailhead.
Okay.
I think it's 264. I don't know. But I always go, I want to go hike there. I don't know why. I just see it every time and I'm like, I want to go hike there.
We passed a lot of trailheads on that drive.
It's just that one that I see and I go, we should go hike there.
Okay.
I have absolutely no reason why. I've never heard anything about it, but I just see it and go, we should do that.
All right. So we should someday. The creature is said to like to throw rocks from hidden locations.
He's a polite guy.
Which is fun. Well, he's also been said to decapitate deer and other wildlife before eating them. So...
Okay, maybe not so polite.
Yeah, there's one account of the monster drinking the blood of cougars.
How do you know that?
I'll read that in our after in the and another thing. I have the account.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry. My brain just went to this whole little Bigfoot or Mogollon Monster picking up a cougar, twisting off the top. I'm so sorry for that visual.
Taking a big old
just
drink.
take a glop, glop, glop. Tossing it aside. Litter bug.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
And now I'm picturing, like, you know how when you're finishing up a Capri Sun and you just like squeeze the last little bit of juice from it.
The bag compresses. You like vacuum the bag.
Yeah.
No, that's horrible. I'm so sorry. I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So sorry.
All right. Accounts of encounters with the creature describe an eerie silence prior to the encounter, which is an appreciable stillness in the woods that commonly surrounds predatory animals. that was a quote from Wikipedia. So
okay. I've heard that, like if the forest goes quiet, you should probably worry.
Yeah, you should probably go quiet too and hide.
And pray.
Yeah. So forest animals do not like this creature, unlike other Sasquatch legends.
Yeah, they tend to typically be a little more.
I know, like the Pacific Northwest kind of, and I would actually like to do the Pacific Northwest version of Bigfoot at some point, because I want to know if original accounts were him being violent, or just this mysterious ape in the woods. And then, because I know they turned it into a tourist thing, right? And like a mascot to protect the
nature.
Yeah, nature and woodlands and all of that. So I want to know, was the whole bending of that lore just to attract more tourism, or if that was actually
I would
part
like to
of
know
the
if that
original lore.
shift happened prior to Harry and the Hendersons or after.
Yeah, I'm sure it was prior. I don't know. Where am I in my notes? Sightings.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
I love reading accounts and sightings and stuff like that. It's so much fun.
So sightings have been reported as going back to the early 1800s, when settlers of the area started having run-ins with the monster in the canyons and forests of the region. Even local Native Americans within the region have also had stories. Local Native Americans within the region have also long told stories about big hairy men who lived within the forests and canyons. It's definitely very much a part of Arizona folklore. The first documented sighting was in 1903. I.W. Stevens told the Arizona Republican newspaper that he came across an unknown creature near the Grand Canyon. Stevens described the creature, which he called the Wild Man of the Rocks, as having long and matted white hair on its head and a long white beard that grew down to its knees. It also appeared to have gray hair covering the majority of its body. He came upon it while it was kneeling over a recently killed cougar, drinking its blood.
Oh.
That's where we get that.
Okay.
So even though Stevens reported being extremely still and quiet while watching the creature, it noticed him. The monster became well aware of his presence when it quickly turned locked eyes onto Stevens and let out, quote, "the wildest, most unearthly screech you could imagine," end quote.
Okay.
This display of anger from the creature caused Stevens to take off out of the canyon and head for the safety of home, which was in Colorado.
Oh, so he was like, I'm leaving the entire state.
He was visiting. He was visiting the area. Yeah. He's like, oh, peace out. I'm leaving.
So did he just like take off and just keep going until he got home? Or did he like,
I mean, in 1903, transportation existed. So I think he probably just went to the nearest town and got out.
Okay.
But not after reporting what he saw to the Arizona Republican.
Right. Like, okay.
So you thought he just beat feet straight back to Colorado.
Yeah, he walked. He was quite the hiker.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there aren't that many towns around the Grand Canyon.
No.
Okay. So,
and I don't know,
he just go
even less so in 1903. So
did he just say he was driving his little trusty whatever vehicle was available in 1903? I don't know. Wagon. Sure. When were cars invented?
Not in 1903. Oh, no.
Yeah, there were cars in 1903.
I mean, they were new in the 20s.
No, that was when Henry...
Early 10s, I guess.
Yeah, there were cars. Okay. They weren't great.
I know there was a railroad, so...
So the Ford Model A was in 1903.
Okay.
Anyway, so he's driving his little car at like 20 miles an hour down the rickety little dirt path.
In the Grand Canyon?
No. To the edge of the Grand Canyon. And then he was like, I'm going to go hiking in this beautiful, beautiful location.
He didn't have... Oh, man.
And then he sees this thing and he's like, nope, I'm going to nope right out of here. And he hiked back up to his car, went into the nearest town, which was probably 20 miles away, and took him 4 hours to get there because cars didn't go very fast.
Listen.
In 1903.
I'm not sure why you're hung up on this string of events here, and I don't have answers for you. What I have is...
It's just going in my head now.
What I have is this display of anger from the creature caused Stevens to take off out of the canyon and head for the safety of home. And I also know that this guy is from Colorado. I don't know if the home that's referenced in my notes was just wherever he was staying, the comfortable civilized building which he was staying in, or his actual birthplace of Colorado. I don't know. I don't have the information for you. If you would like a full account of this,
I would.
I'm talking to you and to the listeners. Okay. Stop interrupting me.
I'm so sorry. Okay, Kara.
I'm going to be reading the whole article from the Arizona Republican in 1903, where Stevens gives his account in our And Another Thing chat on our Patreon page.
Okay.
So if you want to listen to that, you got to be a patron. So join us.
Patreon.com/Jess and Hids.
Yes. All right, moving on. Fast forwarding in time.
Okay.
The most famous sighting of the Mogollon Monster was by a 13-year-old by the name of Don Davis. He was on a Boy Scout camping trip around 1944 near Payson. He believes he encountered the Mogollon Monster. He and his troop were camping near Tonto Creek when something woke him and some other boys late in the night. It sounded like someone was rummaging around and going through everyone's stuff. So little Don Davis, thinking it was another boy, yelled out for the scout to stop and go back to bed when the intruder stopped and turned in his direction. The unknown visitor approached Davis, who was in his sleeping bag, and stopped above him, standing directly over his sleeping bag. The terrifying unknown creature caused Davis to pull his sleeping bag up over his head and hope the monster would leave him alone, as, 13-year-olds do.
I mean, yes. Under the blankets is so much safer than not under the blankets.
But, it worked. So eventually the monster lost interest and left, took back into the wilderness. So a quote from Don Davis said, "The creature was huge. Its eyes were deep set and hard to see, but they seemed expressionless. His face seemed pretty much devoid of hair, but there seemed to be hair along the sides of his face. His chest, shoulders, and arms were massive, especially the upper arms, easily upwards of 6 inches in diameter, perhaps much, much more. I could see he was pretty hairy, but didn't observe really how thick the body hair was. The face/head was very square sides, and squared up chin, like a box."
So is this Don Davis as an adult recounting, or is this 13-year-old Don Davis? Because he used some big words.
He did.
For a 13-year-old.
Don Davis.
That might just be the difference between the 40s and the 2000s.
This little 13-year-old boy, Don Davis, grew up to be a leading cryptozoologist.
Oh, you go, Don Davis.
Because of this experience.
I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So cryptozoology, for people who don't know, because I realize not everybody even knows what a cryptid is. Cryptozoology is a pseudoscience and subculture that searches for and studies unknown, legendary, or extinct animals whose present existence is disputed or unsubstantiated, particularly those in popular folklore, such as Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, Yeti, the Chupacabra, the Jersey Devil, the Mogollon Monster.
The Squonk.
The Squonk.
And the Tree Tales.
Yeah. All right. So other sightings. Many campers and hikers in the area of the Mogollon Rim claim that the Mogollon Monster has ventured into their camp during the night and rummaged their personal belongings. It rips open bags. I know. It's not a very pleasant guy. He rips open bags, tosses furniture, knocks over tents, and steals food.
Honestly, sounds like a bear.
Yeah. That's one of the things that people were like, stop, it's just a bear.
It's just a bear.
Yeah. So people have had stones thrown at them. They've heard loud screams and sounds that almost sound like a woman in distress, like a cougar. Along with the reported loud shrieking/screaming sounds, people have also heard howling, whoops, whistles, and wood knocking coming from within the woods. All common, those are all common among Sasquatch beings.
The wood knocking,
the
is
knocking
a
and the
big
howls
thing.
and the whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Marjorie Grimes, who is a White River, Arizona resident, claimed to have sighted the creature a number of times between 1982 and 2004. She stated it was all black and it was tall. The way it walked, it was taking big strides. I put on the brakes and raced back and looked between the two trees where it was, and it was gone. So that was her initial sighting. She was driving down the road and saw it just kind of standing there on the side of the road between two trees. And yeah, big black hair.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is saying red or gray.
Well, the initial, most commonly reported ranging from black to like reddish brown.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And then
so
like the one in 1903 was white and gray. Maybe he was old.
He was an old one.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm old. Leave me alone. I don't have my teeth. I got to drink the blood of the cougar.
I can't chew the meat.
Don't look at me. That's it. I'm going back to Colorado. Bye.
Yep. All the way back in my little car. In 2006, another member of the White Mountain Apache Nation, Colette Altaha, said, there have been more sightings than ever before. It cannot be ignored any longer. Specifically talking about sightings in the White Mountain Apache Reservation.
Which is, that's near here, right? I mean, that's...
Oh, yeah. That's, White River
right?
isn't too far away from us.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
The tribal police are also well aware of the creature's presence. Police Ray Burnett is quoted as saying, a couple of times they've seen this creature looking through the windows. They meaning reported, people calling in to report it. And he says they're scared when they call. In 2014, a sociology student reported to Cryptozoology News that she was hiking the Canyon Point Trail near Payson when she saw what she described as a troll-looking creature. This is the one that didn't have any hair.
Okay.
So this creature was drinking from a pool of water. The student said the creature was, quote, human-looking, no hair on it, but full of bumps. The eyes were kind of a brown red, thick big nose, small lips, no expression on its face at all. It then took off running like a person. End quote.
So it was either some person that just lived out in the woods and had really bad skin, or like a Bigfoot with mange.
Yeah, like maybe he just like he had alopecia or mange.
Had some skin conditions going on. Okay.
Yeah. So leaning into the more folklore side of things, these are not really officially documented. There was an Arizona pioneer by the name of Sam Spade who was building a log cabin on land adjacent to what is now Camp Geronimo in northern Arizona. He was attacked by the creature, and then later his son, Bill Spade, and his son's soon-to-be wife were killed by the creature on their wedding day.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, that's one of the stories that kind of gets circulated around folklore about this monster. Other stories explain the origins of the Mogollon Monster, implicating a tormented Native American bent on revenge or a chief transforming to scare away his former clan. It's inevitable to come across Native American, like,
curses and
they're
evil. Yeah, it's it's annoying.
Yeah. There's also another story involves a pioneer who is attacked by Native Americans, escapes, but is cursed by the spirits and goes insane. So, yeah, there's these all, they all seem like white people saying, oh,
Natives
it was
are
a
bad.
Native American that did it.
Yeah.
That caused this.
It's so
very
let's
sad.
not perpetuate those bits of folklore.
Like there are fascinating bits of Native American lore and belief that
are actually from natives.
Yeah, that are actually legit,
whitewashed or used to make natives appear evil.
Yeah.
Which is
yeah. There's one more. Another story describes the creature as, quote, the phantom of a white man who, as punishment for murdering a Native American woman, was hung from a tree by his hands, stretched to a height of 8 feet, then skinned alive and left to die. Damned by the spirits, his ghost continues to roam the woods as the tragically misnamed Flesh Pedestrian.
Oh,
which I'm not going to say the actual name.
Thank you. But I was like listening to, and I'm like, wait.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's kind of some overlap in the lore there.
Yeah. Is that so? Does that story come from white or native culture?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That story comes from Wikipedia.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, well, yeah, if you're doing evil things, you should be punished. But then like, oh, no, you became this. Like, no, I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah.
That's a topic we're never going to ever cover.
No, probably not.
I don't know a way to do it respectfully, I guess.
Yeah. Because that is
it's a cultural belief.
It's different than the folklore that we kind of lean into. It's an actual cultural belief, and it's people.
Yeah.
And
it's just one of those things that's become a quote unquote cryptid.
Yeah.
But it's a
not,
cultural belief, and I don't know that we'll ever. I worked with 2 natives very briefly, and I asked them, and they were like, no. I was like, I can't remember what I asked them. We were just having random conversations. I think I had just listened to a podcast about it or whatever. And they were like, we don't want to talk about that. Like, we don't. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I will never bring that up again. But
yeah,
I mean,
and that's something that a lot of people who aren't Native Americans, who weren't brought up with that belief, don't understand. Because like, as a white person that doesn't know any better, I did originally think it was just a spooky story.
Yeah, I mean, same.
Folklore,
same.
just,
just some
a scary
up
story you tell your kids at night.
Yeah, don't go out in the woods. It'll get you. But
yeah, it's not for them. This particular Flesh Pedestrians, it's not. It's an actual belief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't like that bit of lore about that. Yeah. But
so
okay. So they said that because of that becomes the Mogollon Monster, or is that just part of it? It's just kind of told alongside with it.
I think this one. I think what they're saying here, the guy was, stretched, super tall, skinned alive, left to die, but he's wandering the woods as the tragically misnamed.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people see this. It's the Mogollon Monster, but they call it a Flesh Pedestrian.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. That I have one other little fun fact, and then I'll be done. So the creature is also present in the works of Dolan Ellis, who is Arizona's official state balladeer.
I did not know that was a thing.
What is a state balladeer, you ask?
I do ask.
Apparently, Arizona was the first state to have one.
Well, yay. What is it?
It's a guy who sings folklore songs about the state.
Okay, this is fantastic.
Yeah. A balladeer. I guess I shouldn't say a guy, but like a musician who creates music about the state, the official state balladeer.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I did not know that was a thing. So, I have heard the poet laureate or whatever. Yeah. I'm sure I just totally mispronounced that. As soon as I said it, I was like, that's wrong.
No, I think laureate.
Is it
laureate?
Laureate? I don't know.
But
yeah,
laureate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. I didn't know there was an official balladeer.
Balladeer. He's not even from Arizona though, but he is.
Well, I mean, if he's in the, I was going to say the culture, but like if he's
he sings songs about
studied it and
Arizona
it's like that's
lore.
his thing, you know.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
I think he lives in Arizona. He's just not from there. Anyway, he has a song named Mogollon Monster, and he actually wrote this song in a campaign against littering, especially in the wilderness of Arizona, claiming that the monster targeted those who carelessly littered in its territory.
I'm down for this.
Yeah.
We're going to make that official lore now because, yes, don't litter.
Yeah.
It's too beautiful.
Yeah.
here.
But
like
I said,
anywhere,
with the I keep gesturing up there because we used to have a postcard up there from the Pacific Northwest about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
The Pacific Northwest Bigfoot, they also use in campaigns against littering.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Kind of twisting the narrative a little bit
so
to fit.
that's what
I like it.
Dolan Ellis did. He kind of twisted, like he is this vicious monster, but he only targets people who litter. So
I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
Yeah. So that's all. That's all I've got.
I love it.
Yeah. I will try to see if I can find that song and post it in the show notes.
Yes, please. I want to listen to it.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yay. Okay. Now I'm worried that I'm not going to know what card you draw this time because my ESP is going to fail me.
Oh, no.
But
it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. So whatever. Well, it's my turn. I get to talk about. So this was an actual card that I made, but it can also possibly go in the urban legend department, which we've been like, I need to maybe pull that card out. We've done a lot of urban legends recently.
Are you talking about Backrooms?
No, but
okay.
Oh my gosh, I want to.
Because I was like, when we were watching that video last night, I was like, let's add that to the urban legend.
I think it is on the list. I'm actually going to go double check because I have that spreadsheet up right now.
I might just edit all this out because if we're not going to talk about it, I feel like we have to explain now what the Backrooms thing is.
Backrooms is a thing that we'll talk about in a later podcast because it's creepy. It's creepy and fascinating. And we watched a video last night and I had nightmares.
I want to like share that video with them.
We will.
I almost told you to post it in the family chat and see how
I need to find it. I should have saved it. I didn't save it.
Oh, man.
And I may never see it again, but I'll
probably find it.
What I'm going to talk to you today, what I am going to talk about today is the most convincing time traveler story ever.
Oh my, I'm so here for this. Okay, I'm so excited. Is it the Mogollon Monster? Is he a time traveler?
He's a window faller. On April 23rd of 2006 I just spent like 10 minutes prior to this listening to a pronunciation guide.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't know if I've got it right, but Kiev, it's not Kiev, it's Kiev in the Ukraine.
Spell it.
Used to be Kiev when it was part of Russia.
Okay.
But since the 20 odd years that Kiev has been, the Ukraine has been separated from the Soviet Union or Russia. The actual pronunciation is Kiev. It's a weird, it's like a key and then there's a U ending, but it's hard to make that sound without a lot of practice.
Yeah.
The language person I was listening to, I can't remember what his actual title is. Linguistics, that's it. The linguistics professor that was talking about it described it as people who can't say rocks. They like rocks, or they kind of make the U instead of the W, but not walks. But anyway, it's a weird sound that takes practice to make. So I'm going to say...
I don't know what any of that means. I don't know. You lost me with the rocks.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, it's a little... He explained it much better, and I'm actually going to link his video in the show notes just for pronunciation purposes.
Okay.
Anyway, in Kiev... I'm just going to... I don't know. I'm sorry. I just can't even say it right. Anyway... On April 23rd, 2006, a man in his late 20s to early 30s was arrested by the police for suspicious behavior. He was very confused and kept asking what year it was. The police asked him for his identification, and he handed them his credentials, which took them off guard. The man's name is Sergei Ponomarenko, not to be confused with the professional ice skater by the same name.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I was like, you have to, if you look it up, you have to add time traveler or you'll get the ice skater and then like two other famous people of the same name. So he handed over his credentials, and they were like, wait, this ID was issued by the Soviet Union, which did not exist in 2006.
Uh-huh.
And it said that the man was born in 1932.
What?
And when they asked him what year he thought it was, he said it was April of 1958. He was dressed in period-appropriate clothing. His credentials said it was the same age, like if the age he should have been in 1928 or 1958, I'm sorry. But they were like, what do you is this a joke? Or, are you trying to, and he's like, no, I went outside. I walked with my girlfriend and we were taking pictures around the city. I think you should look at my camera. And the police are like, dude, you're crazy. You're crazy. We're gonna just escort you over here to this nice doctor at this nice hospital over here.
Nice padded room.
This nice little secure room. It's not a prison, but it was a mental hospital. And they were like, we're just going to ask you some questions and kind of figure out, is he suffering from delusions? Is he suffering from amnesia? Is he in the wrong century? So they took him, they sat him down. He was confused. He was unsure of what was happening around him, but he was like aware, like he wasn't like like crazy confused.
Yeah,
he was just like it should be like it's April 23rd, 1958. And they're like, no, it's April 23rd, 2006. And he's like, but it's not,
Oh man.
So he talked to the doctors and the police, and he says he was out walking with his girlfriend. They were walking around the city, taking pictures, and he saw one thing when he was getting ready to take a picture of the skyline. He saw this strange object. They called it a bell-shaped object in the sky.
Huh.
So he looked down at his camera and snapped the picture. And then when he looked up, he was standing in 2006 in front of this building, very confused.
That's crazy.
But wait, there's more. So they talked with him and they were like, okay, who's your girlfriend? Tell us some more. So he kind of gave them some details, and he was like, I was looking for this street, which used to exist in the city, but doesn't any longer. And after several hours, they were like, okay, you're going to stay here for the night. We'll talk with you in the morning. We'll, get some rest, everything. They woke up in the morning. He was gone. So they have security footage. Yes.
He was like locked up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They have security footage of him going into the room. The room had one door. The windows were barred. There's no security footage of him coming out of the room. He was gone in the morning.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Time travel.
Time travel.
Yeah.
So
he flooped back.
He flooped. They did have, during the initial day of questioning, he was like, here's my camera. There's a roll of film in it. And this is a camera from the 50s. It was actually a camera. I can't remember the name of it, but I didn't write it down for some reason. The camera was made, it was new that year. And this camera that he had was in pristine condition. It did not look like it was 50 years old.
Oh, man.
There was film in it, which this film was discontinued production in the 70s. And the film was in pristine condition. So remember that.
I do.
Okay.
I will.
They developed the photos. There were pictures, and they had to go find a special, they were like, we can't just take these down to CVS.
Yeah.
Which probably doesn't exist in the Ukraine. I don't know, their version of CVS. So they had to go find someone who was used to working with old film and had the old chemicals and developing processes. They got them developed. There were photos of the city from the 1950s that they corroborated with, historical photos. But some of the buildings there no longer existed in 2006.
Yeah.
there was a photo of Sergei and his girlfriend. He was wearing the same clothes that he had on. And there was one photo of the skyline with this black bell-shaped object floating.
What?
That was the last photo on the roll. So then,
that's crazy.
They wake up, Sergei's gone. And they're like, mystery. Okay. Let's figure this out. So they go back to their notes and they remember, oh, right, his girlfriend, Valentine. Okay, I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name. I'm just going to go with Valentine.
Okay.
So they searched the city records and they found her. She still lived in the city.
Oh.
She was in her 70s. So they went and talked with her. And she said, oh, yeah, Sergei, he was my fiancé. He disappeared one day.
Oh, he didn't go back?
He disappeared one day in 1958. And they actually did find records of a Sergei Ponomarenko who went missing in April of 1958.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
was never found.
What?
She says, I do have this that showed up in the mail one day. And she hands them a photo dated 2050.
What?
And it is the skyline of the city with a much older Sergei. He's got a mustache. He's in some different clothes, not 1950s, not 2000s styles, different clothes, standing in front of this skyline that is supposedly Kiev.
That's
in
crazy.
2050. And the note on the back says, I'll be back soon. But he was never seen again.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
It's very sad. However,
like if he is a time traveler, though, he could just go back. Or can he only go forward?
Or was he just simply
making faces at me?
Was he just simply getting picked up by this UFO and dropped off in the wrong time period? And they were like, oops,
try again.
Oops, try again. Try again.
Gorlick.
Yeah, Gorlick. Get it right, my dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Recalibrate the machine. Just
in Europe, they put it's the day. No, wait, it's year, month, day, right? Isn't that how that's done? I don't know.
Yeah,
no,
that's
day,
what he
month,
got wrong.
Day, month, year. It's different than how we do it in America. I can't remember. Gorlick's just all confused with his timeline. He got this poor guy. So, the most convincing time traveler story in history. Or is. I watched several different YouTube videos. I think Mystery Files had one, and I think there's a BuzzFeed Unsolved, and there's also this YouTuber called Joe, Answers with Joe. And that's where I got most of this information from for this, because I liked the way he presented it. So, some discrepancies that were found. The security camera footage of Sergei going into the mental hospital room where he spent the night, dated Tuesday, April 23rd, 2006. If you look at your calendar, April 23rd, 2006 was a Sunday.
Oh.
The ID card. And you can look up these. These pictures, will drop them in the post too. You can find his ID card everywhere. It's very easy to find. It has the seal of the Communist Youth League, which was part of the identification process at the time in the 30s. But it's not the actual seal that was used in the 30s. It was a later one.
Interesting.
And then if you look at the photo from 2050, the skyline, it looks very futuristic, very much more populated and dense than the 2006 skyline. But if you really look at it, you can see that some of the buildings are the same building, just kind of moved over here in the photo and moved over there in the photo. And one of the buildings looks very, very similar to the Empire State Building. So,
okay.
Is this really just a really good copy and paste? Edited photo, Photoshop. So, there is a show that was in the Ukraine called Aliens.
Oh, cool. We should watch it.
We should. I don't know if we can find it. It's all going to be in Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Unless we can find it somewhere subtitled.
Yeah.
There were like 12 or 13 episodes, I think. The third episode is called The Time Traveler. The disclaimer at the start of this show reads, "The Alien series aims to restore scenes of controversial topics. Any theory and hypothesis proposed cannot be considered to be correct, and further scientific research is required. All scene restorations are based on the statement of witnesses. There is no conclusive evidence to prove the existence of aliens. Your opinion on this issue is up to you."
Okay, so this isn't like a fictional show.
It's a show
sort of
based
like
on
docu.
stuff.
Yeah.
The key
So
words
like our
are-
ancient aliens.
Yeah, ancient aliens. Like, yeah. The key thing we're looking at here is scene restorations.
Uh-huh.
So all of the images, the ID card, the photo of 2050, the security footage, if you trace back their origins, they all link back to this show.
Huh.
There are
Nothing prior
there's
to
nothing
this.
prior to this show,
Okay.
except this missing persons report.
Oh, okay. So someone found the missing
someone
persons
found
report
it and
was
said,
I wonder what happened to that guy.
Let's make up a fun story about a time traveler.
Yeah.
So it all
Super
leads
spish.
back to this. Now, as far as the girlfriend / fiance, Valentine, was she paid like, hey, if the police come here, tell them this story, show them this picture?
Yeah.
Is she part of it? I never found anything that like kind of followed that lead. They just mentioned, oh yeah, we found her and she said this.
Yeah.
But like I
mean,
didn't find anything where they did a deep dive.
If I were an old lady and someone came to me and handed me a picture and said, you might get some people visiting you asking questions about your boyfriend who disappeared,
Mm-hmm.
hand them this picture and just tell them what you know. Tell them he disappeared, but then you got this in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
And here's some money. And I'd be like, oh, don't worry about it. Don't even pay me. This sounds fun.
I got you. I have been
I will
bored.
totally do this.
I'm 70. I'm just sitting here watching my stories, drinking my tea.
You don't have to pay me. Just like buy me a Dr. Pepper and I'll do it.
Like, let's go. I'm down for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So when I'm 70, if anybody wants to do a little hoax, I'm
We are
down. Let's
down.
go.
Yeah.
Time travel hoax.
Yes.
I'm here for
Let's
it.
do it.
Let's make it happen. So it's like you want to believe. You want to believe?
Uh-huh. I do want to believe.
I do want to believe. But, it's on the internet, so it must be true.
Yeah.
I have some, can I get a charger? My computer's about to die.
Oh, shoot.
That would be fun. Oh, there go my notes. I do have some fun discussions about the probability and possibility of time travel.
Sweet.
That I think I want to talk about in our, and that's another thing.
We should add Project Pegasus
Project Pegasus is on the topic.
to the list.
It is on the list.
Cool.
I will say to, I did make a note because
That's
I'm
going to
looking
be
at
an
it.
in-depth thing.
Project Pegasus. So whoever gets that card, just make sure you're looking up the time travel version and not the wiretapping government surveillance. That is still that's still like a recent issue.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to go with the time traveling Project Pegasus, I think from like the 50s or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it's on the list. We just have to one day pull it.
Yeah.
Pull that card. Wouldn't it be funny if you pulled it today?
That would be hilarious.
That would be awesome. I'm going to make it happen with my ESP.
Okay.
So Sergei Ponomarenko, time traveler.
Or ease.
I'm here for it. I think the recreations for the Aliens show just, hid their sources. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, yeah.
They were like, we're going to keep these secret.
Yeah. Maybe they were not classified to reveal them.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have the clearance. They were like, yeah, sure, you can talk about it, but people are going to think you're lying because you're not going to be able to say where you got the info.
Yeah. The aliens were like, look, if you do this later on, this is going to come up. You're not going to have any backup for this.
Yeah.
You know it's real, but you're not going to be able to prove it. So
have fun with
oops,
that.
have fun with that. We're going to go now. We've got to drop Sergei off in 2042 or something.
Yeah.
So if we can drop another 20. Well, he already been in 2050, so it would have been in the future. 2073. We're going to drop him off there. No, we're going to drop him off in 2058 so we could have a 100-year celebration of his disappearance.
Funsies.
Just for funsies.
We'll celebrate.
Yeah. Sergei's our buddy now. He hangs out on the ship. It's all good. Oh, yeah. Sergei Ponomarenko. Time traveler.
Another alternate theory is that he did get abducted by aliens, but where they're from, time works differently. He's not aging, but he's not time traveling. So they're just revisiting Earth. Maybe Earth is moving slower or they're moving faster, but they occasionally just go back to Earth, and he gets back and he's like, oh, crap. So much time has passed. I was just on that ship for like 2 hours, and now like it's 2006. And then
I mean, that's a thing, because like with the Travis Walton abduction, he thought he was only gone for about 5 hours, and it was what, 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
So
it was like, I forget how many days it was, but
it was a couple days, and so like time does work differently in these abduction scenarios.
Yeah.
So that would make sense. Like maybe he's just hanging out with them, playing some cards and having a good time, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, do you want to drop by?" Yeah. It's been like 40 odd years. Crap. Hey guys, pick me up. Let's get it right this time. I want to go back and get married. And
I don't want to live in the world of 2006.
Yeah.
But then that, I guess that doesn't really explain what he said in the postcard to his girlfriend, that I'll be back, unless it was just like a trying to be comforting.
Yeah.
I'll be back someday.
I'll come back.
Even though he knows he's not.
Like he seems to be jumping forward, so maybe they're working on the technology to go backward.
Oh yeah, maybe he's staying with the aliens because they have the technology. They're closer to cracking time travel.
They can get forward. I mean, forward's easy, right?
Yeah. Well, no, they're not time traveling. They're just living their life.
Oh, they're just living their life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're like, we're almost there, dude. We're almost there.
Yeah, but they're working on time travel.
Yeah. I like it. Okay.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, I'll be back.
I'll be back. We're almost there. We've almost got it.
Yeah.
We're looking into Einstein's theory of relativity.
Yeah. Wormholes.
The aliens are like, he almost had it, but he was missing a lot of stuff that we have available. So we're almost there.
Yeah.
We could travel.
Maybe they keep sending him back to Earth because he can blend in and get like...
he's getting updated tech.
Yeah. And like any new research that could possibly help the aliens.
Or maybe he's coming back to Earth and taking away key pieces of knowledge to prevent
so we don't get time travel?
From having time travel.
Why?
Because the aliens got to keep us down, man.
Maybe he's under contract.
The rest of the universe.
He was like,
crazy?
Okay, so the aliens abducted him, and he's like, oh no, okay, it's been great meeting you guys. This was great, but I got to get back to my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. So they take him back, and it's 2006, and he's like, well, crap, take me back, please. And so they take him back. And he's like, okay, you guys are close to figuring out time travel. I'll make you a deal. Figure out time travel. This is a love story is what it is.
Okay.
He goes to the aliens and he's like, you guys figure it out. I will help you. I will even keep everybody else from figuring it out so you can have the patent on time travel.
There you go.
And in exchange, I want to be taken back to my girlfriend on that day.
Oh, so we can get married.
Yeah.
And live happily ever after. I love it.
Yeah.
So one day, Sergei will return.
So, and in the meantime, Sergei has become this like corporate spy, making sure other planets, other creatures, other, he's alien
just
races.
bopping around the universe, like taking little key pieces of information.
Oh, you're about to discover time travel? Nope.
Take that. Or changing the equations.
The formulas. Yeah.
Just go. He doesn't have to take anything. He just got to erase a few numbers off the whiteboard and replace them with other numbers.
Yeah. Let's write a story.
I love
it.
Seriously, no, let's do it.
I love it.
I'm here for this.
And then eventually these aliens, they do create time travel. And he's like, okay, take me back. And so he goes back. And it's kind of like that Captain Rogers thing where he does actually live.
He gets to enjoy his life.
He gets to live with his girl. Yeah.
I love it. I'm here for this.
Yep.
Aw. Okay. We have to go open a Google Doc and start writing.
Okay.
Excuse me while I go do that really quick. Oh, wait. No, first, before we do that, we have to, I think,
we have to draw cards. I was just about to ask. I don't remember if you said you were done with your topic, but I just like took with it and ran with it.
No, I'm done. It's just a very short little story. If you look it up, it's just a short story. The podcast episodes I watched were like 15, 20-minute episodes.
Yeah.
The Answers with Joe actually is longer because he dives into the theory of time travel and its probability of happening.
Okay.
And I'm like I said, I'm going to cover those kind of notes in the.
This isn't the only time we'll be talking about time travel.
Oh no, I have so many thoughts on time travel.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yes.
In a way, possibly.
I'm here for it, and I will be here for it in the future. And I was also here for it in the past. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to send you this time traveler Google Doc.
Okay.
Okay, but first let's draw cards. Sorry.
Cards. Before we draw cards, I'm going to do the usual plug.
Oh yeah.
If you like what you hear and want to get to know us a little better, we have so many fun things going on in our Patreon community. We've got our tea times. We just talked about our little crafting sessions. We've got tabletop role play games that we play with our patrons, and that's super fun. It's like friends getting together for game night.
It's so much fun.
It's so much fun. We've got occasional artwork sneak peeks, and it's been a while since we've done a short story, but honestly, this one that we've come up with today might be
it's going to happen.
A short story Patreon perk that we write and release to patrons. So that might come in the future if we ever hyper focus enough to write it.
It's growing in my head right now. I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah. We also have, for our patrons only, Discord. Discord is free to join for everybody, but we do have channels that are reserved for patrons only. We do writing sprints. We have what we're calling our Tell Me a Tale channel, which is a collaborative storytelling. We kind of have the bones of a story going there. And it's been silent for a while, but I do want to make a doc with all the important information because I think people are just like, wait, what have we decided? And they don't want to scroll up all the way in the channel to figure it out. So anyway, we're doing that. If you want to join us, you can sign up for our Patreon at patreon.com/jessandhids. JESSANDHIDS. Yep. Find the links to all the things at jessandhids.com and follow us on social media. Just look for Jess and Hids. We'll probably pop up.
Yep. All the places.
Yep.
I'm excited.
We have fun.
I'm going to announce this right now.
Okay.
For our Discord our future of Discord, we are going to have a Minecraft server.
Oh my gosh.
So if you'd like to play Minecraft and would like to be a part of that, we're going to have that available to our patrons as well.
I won't be joining the server, but I will.
Jess will laugh at us.
I will be talking about it.
It's fun.
Which is like, okay, no offense to anybody who plays Minecraft. I probably would like it if I got into it, but it's kind of been a running joke just based on, I had a real snarky day at one point when Hids was playing and I was just making snide little sarcastic comments about like, oh, you got to make sure those tunnels look really fancy. Because what's the point of having a tunnel if you're not going to make it fancy? Yeah. And I just, and now it's just this running joke between us and our friend Steph, who also plays Minecraft. And I'm just not going to let it go now.
No, you're not. But did I tell you what we're going to do in our world?
No.
It's called Matitala.
Oh, because I came up with that.
Yes. See, I know. I was like, you did have that idea. We're going to build the world that exist after the victory of season 1 campaign, D&D campaign.
Matitala is a world that will also be appearing in a future book of ours.
Yes.
So, yeah.
We're gonna
do. I say we. You guys all on the Minecraft server are gonna do some. I was gonna say literal world building, it's a video game.
Literal virtual world building.
Yes, virtual world building. There we go.
Oh man. Anyway, I'm excited for it.
Yeah. All right,
let's draw cards.
Draw cards. Right. I will go first since I did my topic first.
Look, we have a Lego book.
Yeah, that catalog came in the mail for you.
Oh, yeah, because I bought one for my friend's kid. Oh, look. No, I have to throw that away. I don't have money for Lego.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. Ha. Cool.
Okay, I'm drawing. Oh, okay.
You look very excited.
I'm excited.
Sweet. Okay.
I was just like grinning, right? Like a dang fool over here. I'm like, no, I'm excited. I'm excited for my topic.
Sweet. I'm excited too. It took me a little bit to process what I drew because it was actually a long
title. I read mine and I was like, this makes no sense. And then I remembered why I wrote it down.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Cool.
So I'm excited to kind of tell you more about where I found this particular topic.
Oh, okay.
And why it made it to the list. And then I'll teach you all about it.
Cool.
In our next episode, which drops a week from today, whenever this one drops. This one drops on the 12th, right?
Yeah, this one's on the 12th.
Okay.
So, yeah,
on the 19th.
19th is...
You'll get to hear our next topic, which I'm excited to talk about.
Yay. Okay.
Yay.
Cool. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
Spread the word about us, please. We're still trying to grow as much as we can. We'd love to work less of our day jobs.
Yeah.
So,
what's your warm ember, Jess?
Oh, shoot. Warm ember. I was ready to say goodbye.
I'll tell you mine. You can think.
Okay.
Mine is just a little quick one because I'm working on the newsletter, which if you would like our once a month newsletter, you can go to jessandhids.com and sign up for it. But I have decided that I'm going to call our followers embers.
Oh, I love that.
Because the support and encouragement we get from everyone is a continual warm ember for us.
Yay.
And I was typing up the newsletter and I was like, I'm going to call everybody embers. And that's what everybody is. And that's my little particular warm ember for today.
I love that. So you guys are all now embers.
Yeah.
Yay. Thanks for listening, embers.
Yeah.
My warm ember. I love that one. Can I have that one?
We can share it today. Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's what warm embers are about.
Yeah. And I was just
love.
I was like while you were doing your warm ember, I was like, okay, what's going to be mine? I got to have it ready. And what came to mind before you even said what yours was the fact that our listenership has increased so much recently. And I'm like, we are beyond grateful to anybody who clicks on our little podcast and decides to give it a listen. And even if you never listen to it again, like,
thank you for listening.
Thank you. Yeah. It was, every download counts. And so, yeah.
One step closer to manifesting our goal.
Yeah.
And thank you for being a part of it.
My warm ember is all of our embers.
Yay.
Which out of context doesn't make any sense at all. Makes me sound like a crazy person.
Yeah.
But you guys know.
You guys know.
You're in the know.
Yeah. And we want everybody to be in the know. So share the love.
Yeah. Cool.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for listening.
Thanks, everybody. We will talk at you next time.